Joining us now exclusively before the earnings call is Interactive Brokers founder and chairman Thomas Peterffy. Thomas, it's great to have you back on the show. Welcome. And I do want to start with what you saw in the quarter, especially as we did see this surge in volatility and trading activity.
Yeah, so our customers seem to be very optimistic because throughout the quarter, they were net buyers. And even when the market kept going down, every day they bought more than they sold. So it's been a very interesting quarter from that point of view.
What are you seeing now as the second quarter gets underway, given everything we've seen with President Trump's tariff announcements and the policy that seems to evolve and shift on a day-to-day basis?
It is the same story continuing forward. They are just buying and buying and buying. More and more money is coming in, more and more accounts are being opened, and it is just the same story.
You said it last week in an interview that you think the market bottom is in. Do you still feel that way? And if so,
absolutely.
Are investors missing and Wall Street pundits missing the forest for the trees here? Because when you're talking about the noise around a change in trade policy, certainly it triggers uncertainty, which is what we're seeing and hearing about, including from CEOs right now. But over the long term, if you actually enact a restructuring of the economy, couldn't that over the long term be very positive for the stock market?
That's what I think, but I think people are missing the fact that the competing with these suddenly much, much more expensive foreign goods is giving a great deal of opportunity to more entrepreneurial, nimbler companies within the United States. So I think that as they are, many enterprises are going to gear up to produce substitute goods and services, will generate a lot of economic activity, and that is going to become a boom, an economic boom instead of a recession.
So we've talked about the prediction markets before, which you have at Interactive Brokers, and certainly they were, in many cases, more accurate than the polls were coming into the November election. In terms of these forecast contracts now, how are they being used? How is that market growing? And what does it mean for a new way to potentially hedge when you do see this much volatility?
So it's very interesting because you see, we have contracts on whether there'll be on economic indicators, and among them whether there'll be a recession. And as the expectation of the recession increases, the probability that the Republicans will maintain control of the House keeps decreasing. So as these things move relative to each other, it's very interesting to watch. So currently, it looks like people believe that, traders believe that the Republicans will lose the House with a likelihood of 69%. And the recession is about, the recession likelihood is 30% in the second quarter and 40% in the third quarter. So, as you look at these probabilities daily, it is very interesting to see how people's mood changes day to day and hour to hour.
I want to ask you about Newsmax because via one of your investment vehicles, you're the second largest shareholder. Wildly successful IPO. It's been called a meme stock given the moves we've seen every which way. It's still trading well above where it went public here. Just want to get your thoughts on what that says, not only about that company and about the IPO market, but about perhaps new media and new business models in this marketplace.
So it seems that there is a hunger for different kinds of news, and that's what I think the successful IPO reflects. Newsmax is an interesting venture by Chris Ruddy, and hopefully he will succeed. I have gotten into this by more or less accident because I've been a friend of Chris Ruddy for a long time, and he has asked me to put up some money when he needed it some 4 years ago, and suddenly it's become an unexpectedly successful investment.